Now more than ever, it is vital that we take care of both our health and our wealth. They are directly connected, aren't they? If you don't have one, the other becomes challenging from both perspectives. So, what if you could learn from some masters on how to master both your health and your wealth? Stick around for Dr. Fabrizio Mancini as he shares the secrets to mastering both health and wealth. Cue the intro. Welcome to The Real Deal, where we get real about what it takes to succeed, whether it's wealth, health, relationships, or finding your purpose. We talk with the masters to uncover the secrets to defying the odds and creating your own rockstar legacy. I'm Doug. After working on multiple Grammy-winning records, years on the road as a national trainer with Tony Robbins, a published author, transformational speaker, and your personal translightenment coach, I'm committed to your transformation, enlightenment, and exponential growth. And now, the real deal on. Okay, awesome. So are you ready for the best introduction you've likely had since this morning? Just making sure. All right. But before we begin, today's sponsor for The Real Deal On is guidedhypnotic.com. Are you feeling stressed out, perhaps overwhelmed by anxiety, trepidation of what's to come, not being present? Then go ahead to guidedhypnotic.com and download your free guided hypnotic meditation. That's guidedhypnotic.com. All right. Now that we've got that away, of course, I sponsor myself. So, all right, here we go. Dr. Fabrizio Mancini is America's #1 healthy living media expert, a world-renowned chiropractor, Hay House's international best-selling author of The Power of Self-Healing, and host of his popular radio show, Self-Healing with Dr. Fab. He is also the best-selling author of Chicken Soup for the Chiropractic Soul, an internationally acclaimed educator, business leader, speaker, consultant, and president emeritus of Parker University. He has been featured on Dr. Phil, The Doctors, Fox News, CNN, CBS, ABC, NBC, Univision, Telemundo, and others. He has been interviewed in various documentaries and has received honors including Heroes for Humanity, Humanitarian of the Year, CEO of the Year, and Introduction into the Wellness Revolutionaries Hall of Fame. Dr. Mancini is also a graduate of the prestigious Institute for Educational Management in the Graduate School of Education at Harvard University. Most recently, the president of Mexico named the library at UNEVE, Mexico's new leading university, after him. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for sharing your most valuable asset, which is your time, your wisdom. I just want a little backup. We met through a mutual friend, David Shermer, and you were so gracious. You and Karen were so gracious. You had your mastermind going on, and you're just like, yeah, come on down. That would be great. And met some amazing people, and your mastermind is phenomenal. So please share a little bit about what's going on. Today we want to cover, mastering health and wealth, because right now, one thing that it's looking like there's a lot of doom and gloom, and people need some light and some opportunity, and you're certainly a light. I mean, look at that smile. So if you could, just share what's going on, what brought you here, and let's dig in a little, shall we?
Well, Doug, I want to tell you that I'm a big fan. I loved our time together in Florida. David knew instantly that as soon as we would connect, that we would like each other. And I just want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity to be with you. And for those of you that are listening, just get ready. Get ready to write down some things. Get ready to open your mind, open your heart, because right now, Doug, we're living in an unprecedented time. Most people are calling it the new normal, but nobody has any idea what this normal is going to be, because it keeps changing, not only daily, but weekly. And we don't even know a year from now where we're going to be. We don't even know 5 years from now. We don't know if we're going to be having sports like we used to. We don't know if we're going to have concerts like we used to. It just seems like the whole world had a universal timeout. Yeah. And to me, that timeout actually was necessary. I felt like humanity was going a little bit too fast. We noticed that breakups and divorces were at an all-time high because people were not really present and paying attention to the relationships in their lives. We noticed that businesses were going out of business within less than a year, over 80% of them, because they weren't planning or working their business properly. We noticed that people's health, I mean, I've been in that space for over 35 years. The worst health in the history of humanity is right now happening, with over 80% chronic illnesses that could be prevented, meaning that people are not willing to change their lifestyles. They just rather do the things that they like rather than the things that are healthy for them.
Oh, yeah.
So all of these things, we're noticing that people were going through a very difficult time. And, you know, this time out to me is really a blessing in disguise. I can tell you that from my perspective, I was hit really hard because I have 4 businesses. 2 of them require me to be there. As you know, one of them is public speaking, which is a big income for me. I've been doing that for 30 years, and I do about 70 lectures a year, and everything stopped as of March 1st.
Yeah.
And then I do some consulting for some big companies, and a lot of that stopped because many of these companies were going through a lot of difficulty. And then I have a mentorship program, like you mentioned, that are CEOs and entrepreneurs that I've been mentoring, and then I bring them all my high influential mentors, so that way they can actually be able to live their potential. And that was virtual and physical. So the physical took a seat, but the virtual escalated. And then of course, as a 4th income source, I do network marketing. And I always wanted to be a part of network marketing, but I started about a year ago with an amazing company. And I've always heard that people were wanting to do a home-based business. To me, I like the idea of the passive income. I like the idea that other people's efforts make you money. In business, as you know, is being taught in some of the highest levels of business because there's so many millions of people making a great living out of it. So I wanted to go through it, and thank God it's been very successful, and our company has done really well. So I was taught that when I retired for the 2nd time in 2012, I was told by Mark Victor Hansen, I never forget, in a conversation we had, that he said, you know, Fab, I've lost and gained millions. And I've been bankrupt a couple of times. And the one lesson I learned is never have one source of income. Yeah. Have at least 3. So ever since that time in 2012, I had 3. I added the 4th last year. And thank God for that. I was able to sustain all of these challenges that we're facing because 2 of my companies are completely virtual that I can scale up, and those are booming now because, you know, more people are doing home-based businesses, so they all want to be a part of the network marketing, and more people want to be coach and mentor during this time because where they're dealing with an unprecedented time that they don't know how to move forward. They don't know what to do to support their businesses, support their employees, and making sure that they're actually growing and thriving during this time. So I'm just excited to have this conversation. I want us to take it wherever we want to take it. But, you know, to summarize everything you said about me, I'm a simple guy. I'm an ordinary guy. English is my 2nd language. I'm an immigrant to this country, come from Colombia, South America. And I want you to know that if I've been able to achieve anything, it's not because of anything I'm special. It's because I've learned that success is a learned behavior. You're not born successful. You learn to be successful. And that's what's allowed me to contribute at the high level that I have over the last 35 years.
Well, thank you so much. And I think you are special. We all are special. Of course, I don't want to make any, like, everyone has that potential to do it, like the learned behavior. And one of the things I love about you before I got on here, you know, like you sent me your information and you had your Fab Life Academy. And I went to it and I registered and all of that. And holy crap, the amount of free resources that are in there are more than the average program. And I think that's really important that people like recognize that the information is available to learn how to be successful. Like your PDF, your one download, that assessment, it was tremendous. I was thinking, I was like, oh, I'll just go through it before we get on. And I'm like, there's no way. This is deep. It's like really valuable. And one of the purpose of this show, the purpose of The Real Deal On, is really to explore exactly what you just shared, that possibility. Like, what makes you special is your ability to go out and learn and share. Yeah. Like, you learned something and then shared it. Your speaking was really to share. And also multiple streams of income. So important, especially now. And I want to point out, like just, in full disclosure, I'm part of the team with that multiple. I believe in it 100%. And I want to point out that it's never too late to start anything. Right. And I think that's one of the things maybe you found is that people may have had a dream, say, oh, one day I'd like to get into real estate, or I'd like to get into coaching, or yes, I want to do a direct marketing, but I don't know how to start. And it's too late for me. I don't. Right. And that's just a story that people tell. And if we can get on board with the right teams, we're going to really succeed, because one of the secrets to that success is surrounding ourselves with amazing people. And, we've been blessed to be, friends with you and David and amazing people. And you are just doing what it takes. And it's not rocket science. It's just doing what it takes. But share a little bit when we got to meet, like a little bit of your journey. So you came here, you shared you're an immigrant. Did you come to this country at a young age? Did you learn English here? I mean, your accent is amazing. And I imagine first starting out, that could be some obstacle when you first came here.
Well, it's a very interesting story. So we're 5 boys in my family. I'm the fourth of 5. And my mom and dad, my dad was going through alcoholism at the time in Colombia. And my mom was really desperate, wanting to change his environment. So they both decided to move to Miami, Florida. And they were residents of the United States, so they were able to get a house and everything there very quickly.
Great.
And I remember moving to the United States, and I thought it was going to be amazing. The only time we have been to the United States was to go to Disney World. So I thought it was everything was like Magic Kingdom, So I remember that it wasn't so exciting at the beginning, because when I came here, I was supposed to go into 7th grade. And because at that time, the school that I went to didn't have English as a second language, they put me back 2 years. 2 years I lost. Wow. And put me into 5th grade because I couldn't speak a word. In fact, there was only one girl. Her name was Maria. Maria had the only Cuban American Spanish-speaking student in my class. And she became kind of like my tutor. Thank God to her that I was able to move forward and become a good student. But I want you to know it was a setback. And then I realized that because I couldn't communicate, I left all my friends. And can you imagine at 13 years old, your friends are everything. Yeah. So I'm starting from scratch. So it was a very difficult beginning. But this is what my parents said to us. And I want you to write this down if you can. Moving to the United States, there's 3 things we want you boys to remember. The first one was, you're going to the land of opportunity. Opportunity is everywhere. Every day there's opportunity around you, but you have to look for it. And you have to recognize it when it shows up. So we were trained to look for opportunity, to be able to become more than what my parents became. We were able to look for things that before there were no limitations as to what we could be, so that was very important. The second thing they taught us was, when you find that opportunity, realize that you're the one to make it happen. You see, when an opportunity comes our way, we tend to share it with others. And what happens, Doug? 9 out of 10 people at least, this has been my past, 9 out of 10 people at least try to talk me out of my own opportunity, my dream, right? Because it wasn't their dream. And they don't want me to be disappointed. Many times it's your parents. Many times it's your grandparents, it's your uncles, it's your brother and sister, it's your friends. Oh man, Doug, don't do that, man. You're never going to be able to do that. You want to make $1 million a year? Man, nobody's made $1 million a year in our family. Boy, get your head out of the clouds,
Or worse, they tried it and failed themselves because they listened to someone and they lovingly want to go, well, I tried that, but I don't know. I wouldn't do that. Yeah, if I were you, because you don't want the pain I went through.
Well, the problem is that we allow other people
Yeah.
to rob our dreams and our opportunities. So my parents were very clear with us. When you find something you want to do, and you know that this is you are the one that is able to do it, because they told us that an opportunity doesn't come your way unless you were meant to be the one executing it. There are no coincidences in life, you know. I mean, if you study the law of attraction, everything comes to you because of you.
Hmm.
If you weren't ready, an opportunity will never come your way. And the third thing they taught us, when that opportunity comes and you know in your heart that you're the one to make it happen, no matter whether you have money in the bank, whether you know the right people, whether you have the right education, whether you even speak the language, none of those things really matter. You have to believe in yourself first and foremost. Then the third thing is to take action. Take a lot of action, because right now, action is the only way a person can transform from where they are to where they want to be. Napoleon Hill told us that everything begins with our thinking, and he's right. Everything begins with our thinking, but it's our actions behind our thinking that allow us to truly transform into the person that we're meant to be. So without action, there is no transformation. So we have to take action on that opportunity every day. Every day, we have to be like this. We can't let distractions stop us. And let me tell you right now, during this pandemic, it's been such a blessing for a lot of people, because yes, over 20 million people just in the United States lost their jobs, and I feel for them. But you know, when I read the statistics that over 80% of them were unhappy at their work, what bigger blessing now that the universe has given you the opportunity to say, you know, Bob, it's time to start that business. Mary, go collaborate with Sally and go ahead and do that business you've been talking about all your life. Go ahead and write a book. Go ahead and speak. Do something constructive, but stop complaining. Stop being miserable, because life was meant to live to the fullest.
Amen, brother. And that is, I mean, the inspiration of what we're doing here, and the opportunity to be a light, because like we just shared, like trying to get laser focused. And here's the dichotomy, and it's so interesting. Like, I hate to say it, but these experiences, like, you know, we'll have, you know, a few hundred, few thousand views and a bunch of comments on this really positive stuff. But man, you see someone post something negative and there'll be like so much activity on that, and so much, yet here we are on the same platform. So, you know, at least, the very least, we're taking action. We're constantly putting positive stuff out there, constantly giving people an opportunity to transform, latch on to something. Man, follow Dr. Fab. Yeah, and like, I do want to come back to a little the opportunity when we talk about home-based business. You guys and David have been so gracious in just being there, like as a mentor, as a, you know, like have any questions, have anything, you're like so available. And I think sometimes people forget that people like you, more, I mean, you've done way more than me and David and more, but you're accessible. Like you're willing to get in and get into the trenches and really support people on all areas, not just in the business, clearly. But I want to also touch back to a little bit what you just shared, in that the growing up and how the mindset that you were provided, and how did that also translate into going into chiropractic, going into health? Like how did that happen for you? Was that something you were always passionate about as you keep moving forward?
Well, there were two defining moments in my life that I can recall right now when you asked me that question. The first one is when I was 16 years old. I went back to Colombia with my brother to visit my family after 3 years of being in the United States and now seeing my friends and my family there. And the first night we were there, they gave us a big party. All of our friends were there, family was there. It was one of the best nights of our lives. We went to sleep that night, Doug, and probably 3 hours later, I felt a gun hitting me in the head, saying, "Where's the safe?" There was about 7 or 10 people that broke into the house while we were sleeping. I was sleeping at my aunt's house, and they were there with, my uncle had to go out of town that evening. It was her and 2 children. And then they had one of the housekeepers and the gardener sleeping in the basement, in the bottom of the house. So all of a sudden I get hit, and I said, "I don't know where the safe is." So I try to yell. So they put my socks in my mouth. I try to escape, and they tied my hands and tied my feet and kept hitting me They would take my socks off and I would say, I don't know where it is. So they put my socks back on and hit me. They went to my brother's room next door and I heard my brother yell as loud as possible. And they came back with their hands full of blood saying, we killed your brother. You better tell us where it is. And I just thought it was the end, right? Well, by some miracle, the neighbor heard the commotion, called the police. And that evening, I sat down after it all had happened. And I said, I can't believe that at 16 years old, it could have been the end of my life. And God has given me a second chance. What am I going to do with that? And at that day, at that moment, I made a decision, which is probably one of the best decisions I've made in my life, to live my life like there's only a 24-hour cycle, to live my life in the moment. So I go to bed at night being grateful, but not expecting to wake up the next morning. If I wake up the next morning, I'm grateful. And I said, I get to do it again. I get to contribute again. So that led to my journey. I came back to the United States, and 2 weeks later, I have a vivid dream that I'm going to be a doctor. I didn't know what I was going to be. I was a good student. I was a great athlete, but I didn't know what I was going to be. So I went to my counselor and she said, well, Fab, you're a good student, but you need to make all A's if you want to get to a good pre-med school. So I started studying like crazy. I kept doing my athletics, and I graduated top 10 in my class with 100.7 average in a year of school, of college. So I made up 1 year in those couple of years, 3 years and a half that I was studying. And I got accepted to one of the best pre-med schools in the country in Dallas, the University of Dallas. That's what brought me to Texas. And then from here, I got accepted to any medical school I wanted to go to, but I had an intervention. You know, I had an accident, and the accident landed me in the hospital. And my orthopedic friend that worked in the hospital said to me, you know, I can give you anti-inflammatories and painkillers, but you should really go see my chiropractor. I went that afternoon to a chiropractor, not knowing what it was. You know, I thought it was a specialty of medicine. I was seeing people there that had neck pain, back pain, headaches, inability to conceive, right? Infertility, gastric problems. They were getting over some of the symptoms of cancer with the chemotherapy. I mean, you name it. It was like, I'm like, man, this got to be one of the smartest doctors in the world, because they mentioned about 7 specialties all at once. And I realized when the doctor brought me into the office, he said something to me that said, you know, Fab, you know what medicine is. But chiropractic, there's 3 things that you need to remember. Number 1, chiropractic celebrates the fact that the body has already designed to be healed. The body has all the mechanisms and systems and organs to help you heal naturally. But most people don't promote that, right? You have to depend on drugs and all that to heal. The second thing is that out of all those systems in the body, there's one that is the most important, and that's the nervous system. And we work with the nervous system. We work to try to make sure that nervous system is working as good as possible so it can help the rest of the body work as good as possible and help you heal. And thirdly, we don't deal with managing of symptoms. We're not going to give you any medications. We deal with the root cause of the problem. So we're going to do everything in our power to find out why you're having this problem and help you resolve it. And those 3 things changed my life. I interviewed 62 chiropractors in 6 months before I graduated from undergraduate school. I healed within 2 weeks. I was feeling better than ever. And I made my choice to not go to medical school, but to go to chiropractic school, which I chose Parker University, which later I became the president for 13 years. And now I'm president emeritus for the last 9 years. And that journey became, because I think when I made the decision to live my life to the fullest, to not have any more excuses for not doing something, procrastinations of waiting until tomorrow to do something, taking advantage of everyone and every circumstance that I have in front of me to the fullest, my dream came of being a doctor, and then I aligned with my purpose. And when you align with your purpose, when you have clarity as to what you want to be, nothing can stop you from being as successful as you want to be, because success requires clarity. You cannot be successful by trying to do 20 things at the same time. You have to be clear with your purpose. You have to be clear then with your goals and your priorities, and that will lead you to the action steps that will align to those goals. And then, my goodness, get ready, because you're ready to soar and thrive like never before. So that's kind of what led me into the journey of health and wellness. And as you know, I spent 35 years in that world. I made a lot of contributions, not only as a very successful practitioner, president of one of the leading health universities in the country, then becoming a media expert for Dr. Phil, the doctors, Fox News, which I still do. And then having my own radio show with Hay House. We published my 4th book, The Power of Self-Healing, and I did that for 2 years. And then Fox News just kind of took me over for the last 8 years, and I've been with them since then. But the reality of it is I had clarity. I knew that I wanted to serve the health of humanity, and I wanted to serve the potential, the potential that every human being has. Those are my 2 missions, the health potential and the potential of success that every individual has. And I've spent the last 35 years really in that world.
It is amazing. And I wonder if right now, it's so interesting. We talked about the distractions and health and all of that, and how, I mean, America seems to be one of the least healthy countries, based on just their lifestyle and so forth. And what you shared earlier, everyone's looking for a pill and all that. And I love how you went to chiropractic to go to the source, and Heidi and I are both big fans of chiropractic. 2 questions. 1, do you still practice? And 2, do you find it interesting? Because I jot this down, is we're in this quick fix society that right now, for the last X amount of months now, like 6 months dealing with COVID and all of that, that all the talk is about a vaccine rather than boosting your immunity and taking care of yourself in the first place. And are we just like forwarding that horrible mindset? And this isn't a pro or con vaccine necessarily conversation, other than the philosophy behind it of kind of going, well, why don't you just not eat so many McDonald's and drink your taco? Like what's going on?
That is such a good question. And, I've done some work for the WHO in the past, and I have friends that work for them. I have been very involved, as you know, in the healthcare arena for 35 years at very high levels. I was actually here in Texas. I was on the board of the governor's board to keep Texas healthy for 7 years. So I can tell you with certainty that a lot of what's happening doesn't make sense. And you've seen a lot of things out there where there's a lot of differences of opinion upon our leadership, differences of opinion upon our healthcare providers, our governments, our companies, of what they should do. And for me, I'm sitting here with all the knowledge of 35 years that I know. If this is a virus, right? What we have to understand is a virus is very different than the bacteria. When we created penicillin for the bacteria, it was very effective because the bacteria doesn't change. It's the same. So you can actually create something to kill it and be able to support that individual, even though the body has its own antibodies that allow you to kill bacteria too. But there are times in which the body is compromised and having something like penicillin may be necessary. I completely agree with that. I worked in 2 hospitals as a volunteer. I know urgent care, but that's less than 5% of all the care in the United States.
Yeah.
All the care in the United States is really, regular care. It's not urgent care. So then we now have a virus. We call it an invisible virus, right? We can't see it. But what most people don't recognize is that this virus mutates. It changes at least 38 times. So how can you create one entity that's going to actually work for everyone out there? Because it changes on everybody. And your changes are different than my changes. So therefore, you can take the same thing. I may get better results. You may get better results. So to me, in the process of natural healing, and this is the world that I've been, I've always recommended my patients to be very informed when it comes to vaccinations. And the reason for that is because I've interviewed even individuals like Robert Kennedy Jr., one of the #1 leading leaders, understanding the impact that vaccine has in people's life, including in his own family. So I want you to know, I come from the highest level of understanding. So with my patients, I always said, this is a very personal decision, right? and I want you to get informed, and then you can make the decision for yourself, right? We have so many vaccines right now. Many of them are optional. Well, people just take whatever their doctor recommends. But what people need to understand is that when you make a vaccine, there are toxins within that vaccine. That is a common knowledge. When you put toxins in your body, there may be side effects to that toxin. We don't know what those side effects may be. There's studies that show that people have gotten autism and other conditions after a vaccination. And even though there's always risk, and even when you look at the ingredients in a vaccine, you will realize it's some of the most toxic things you can put in your body. But even besides that, let's say that, you know, you were vaccinated and everything is fine, great. The challenge with this vaccination is towards a virus. And this virus keeps changing. And that means that people are hoping that it's going to help. But even, I think it was Bill Gates that recently said, oh, in my opinion, people are going to have multiple doses. Well, can you imagine, right? Can you imagine why would you put something in your body that may be in danger when also you have other studies and people in the healthcare community that are telling you there are other ways to support yourself if you have COVID-19, even though over 80% of the people don't show any symptoms, right? Their bodies get rid of it within 3 to 7 days. They don't have, and they don't even know they have it. The 15% that show symptoms, they get over within 3 to 15 days. And the 5% that are what we call the urgent ones that are compromised immune systems, they're the ones that may end up in a hospital. So what we have been recommending people is exactly what you said. Common sense tells us that, yes, sanitation is important. So washing your hands, wearing the mask, there's so much this confusion in that because we have experts telling you it doesn't do anything, and you have experts telling you, no, you should wear out of precaution because we just don't know any better, right? There's a lot of misconceptions in the mask. And then social distancing, because they think it's airborne, and within that period of space, you know, there may be the possibility of spread. Now, the thing is that, you know, I hear people say, when you're tested, you may find that you have COVID-19. But I want you to know COVID-19 existed even before March 1st, right? If you buy a can of Lysol, right? And you buy the can of Lysol 2 years ago, you will see in the can of Lysol that it says, kills viruses and bacteria, including COVID-19.
Does it say COVID-19 or Corona? I think it says
the coronavirus, sorry. The coronavirus.
Which also leads to another challenge is that if you got tested and you have antibodies, that doesn't mean you had COVID-19. That means you had any one of the number of viruses which mutate. And COVID-19, I'm assuming, is for the year 19 or the 19th version of it. I don't know. But either way, we know that the coronavirus, SARS, is a coronavirus.
Yeah, it's been around for a long time. But the thing that bothers me is that when you have healthcare providers, high-level healthcare providers telling you that they're getting great results with their patients with a very low expense procedure between $200 and $400, and that those patients can be prevented from ending up in urgent care, which now goes into the hundreds of thousands of dollars and maybe not even coming out of it, right? So this is the thing that I think is very confusing. It's very confusing because right now in healthcare, we have healthcare doctors fighting managed care companies that are telling them that they cannot treat their patients with procedures that they know that are safer than any vaccine that's going to be produced. And that
the vaccine's not even
amazing results.
Yeah.
No, so it makes you really frustrated as a healthcare provider to know that you're trying to do what's right for your patients, which is the oath that we take, right? Because you have people above you saying, no, you can't do that. No, you cannot treat anybody. Then the other thing that we're seeing is that there's a lot of tagging in which people with symptoms that were other things, if they happen to test positive for COVID-19, right, which may not be the reason for their symptoms, they're tagged as COVID-19. And then the other one, which I think is incredible, is that now we have evidence that there's people that have gone into a place, don't have any symptoms of COVID-19. They're tested negative on COVID-19, but they still show that their thing says positive. So there's a lot of wrong positives out there. So that's the part that I get frustrated, because to keep it simple, to keep it common sense, take care of your health right now. Invest in your health right now. You know, right now you have to be the fittest you've ever been. You have to support your nutrition. You got to eat healthy. You got to put nutrients in the body. You know, that's so important right now. You have to be able to exercise and move your body like never before, because that will help build your immune system. You got to drink a lot of water. That helps build your immune system. You got to sleep between 6 to 8 hours minimum. If you can sleep 10, even better. That helps build your immune system. You have to take vitamin C, zinc, vitamin D, vitamin D3, those omegas. Those are the ones that help support your immune system. So we know what to do. But the problem is when you find the news, they don't give you any positive. It's all about how bad this thing is. You should stay in your home. Don't go to work. You know, try to figure out how to make a living. And that's what's creating a tremendous amount of anxiety in the world.
Well, right. And then we all know that stress, anxiety, like depletes your immune system as well. So it's this like onslaught of all these challenges, when really what we need to be doing is focusing on the positive, on possibility, and you take advantage of these conversations and go, oh, well, you know, it's not going to kill me if I go out and start taking some vitamins and maybe a little less fast food, maybe, you know, eat some more vegetables, get some more exercise. And another thing that I noticed, and Heidi and I, you shared, you know, you had experience with alcoholism. Heidi and I, as soon as this happened, we were like, oh my gosh, this is going to be, as far as mental health, addiction, suicide is, you know, we know more people still that have either died from overdose or suicide than have even contracted COVID.
It's at an all-time high. You know, my brother, you met him, Pierluigi, he's one of the top authorities in the United States, especially when it comes to immigrant health in the United States for 36 years. And he was telling me his specialty is mental health and addiction. He said that the numbers are skyrocketing. Right now they're preparing, because he holds some big positions with the government, with the Health and Human Health Services. And they're preparing for the next 2 years, one of the worst mental health times in our history. We know right now that the addiction component has risen. We know that people are drinking, over 50% more drinking over the last few months than we did last year. Over 50% in just the first few months since the pandemic started. So we know that the addictions, the alcoholisms, and all of that is going to become an issue. But let's talk a little bit. You mentioned earlier about, I want to cover two topics. One, let's talk a little bit about the network marketing, because the home-based businesses right now are skyrocketing.
Yeah.
Right? Because people are forced to work from home. And there are a lot of options of home businesses that you can start. But the reason that so many people are starting to work with network marketing companies is because it's a very low entry point to get started. Right? Usually less than $1,000. You can start your own business with your own website and your own tools to be able to build your business, and even product that you can begin to promote out there. You know, I'm predicting that the companies in network marketing that will do the highest will be the health and wellness companies. Why? Because for the first time in history, everybody's thinking about their health, right? I've been a doctor for 35 years, and I've been asking people and patients, what are the top 3 priorities in your life? And less than 10% has ever put health as a top priority in their life, except for now. Now it's almost 90% put health as a priority in their life. So I would say, if you're going to get into network marketing, understand these things. This is what I learned from my mentors. Some of the most influential people that have been doing network marketing for years, I didn't know. They were the ones that came to me and said, you should consider it as a passive income, as one of your streams of income. So what I learned was this, Doug, and this surprised me. Number one, it's a low entry point. We all know that to start a new business today, right, takes a lot of capital. We know already that the number one reason why business not succeed in the first year is because they're undercapitalized. When you have less than $1,000, even if you put it in your credit card and work it, you'll make that money back typically within the first 30 days and start profiting. You can't do that in a business. A lot of times there's many businesses that start like a franchise. A franchise could cost you upwards to $1 million to be able to start a franchise. And they don't expect profit until the second year.
Yep.
I mean, that's the range.
And that's optimistic.
Yeah. So when you're thinking about a home-based business, think about a low entry point. That's one of the things that I really appreciated about network marketing. The second thing is you need to find a product or a service that you truly believe in. You know, your level of certainty is going to be very important because it has to be something you have to convey to other people. So make sure that you truly believe and you truly are like for me, the products that, you know, we have in Globally, I've been using those products since the company started over a year ago, right? Every single day. Those are the only products I put in my body. And I'm the healthiest I've been in the last year in my chemistry, in my body. My friends tell me I look 20 years younger. My weight has been the best it's ever been. But that's because these products are some of the highest ingredients and one of the top formulators in the world, which is Mark McKnight, that is the founder and the creator of these products. So with 25 years of experience creating products, I know that when he puts a product out there, it's going to be a great product. But this is also something that most people don't realize. Where else can you open up a business in which you have people wanting to support you in being successful, training you every single day, every single week to be more successful, calling you, like you mentioned, right? Making themselves available. You know, hey, do you need anything? You know, we're having a call this evening. You want to invite people to come and hear what it is that this company is all about. You know, we're doing a webinar right now. People are they're not building network marketing traditionally, like going to people's houses like they used to in the past. It's all Zoom meetings. And I'm telling you, the growth of this, our company has grown over 600% just since all of this started. 600%. Wow. I mean, I'm telling you, this is a very important time for you to be creative. But if it's something you want to try, if it's something that appeals to you, then go ahead and do it. And the other one that I like is what I mentioned earlier. In what other business do you make money by other people's efforts? You see, once you begin, they say that the first 90 days of your business are the most critical, because as you start building your business, those people now that are in your business are going to build their business. But by building their business, you get rewarded. I have never seen that before in a business model, because I know in my business, if I'm not driving the engine, I'm not making any money, right? In most businesses like that. So I want you to know that it is probably one of the most sought after models at this time, when people are looking for a low entry point, new business that has credibility. You need to be in a credible company, in a credible leadership company with products and services that are credible. Do not compromise your credibility. Do not try to promote things that are not going to deliver what you're saying is going to deliver. I don't believe in that. My reputation, my credibility is too much. I have never personally endorsed any product in 35 years. I don't mind endorsing these products because I live it, because I know what's in it. And I've seen thousands of cases of people getting healthy and well-being, that now they can really enjoy life the way they were meant to. So if it is something that people are interested in, they should consider it. And if you want to learn more about it, they should call you and ask you, hey, tell me more about what is it? Because let me tell you right now, the opportunity could not be better to be in network marketing as a home business, to be promoting a health product that is actually amazing, products that are going to support the health of humanity right now, and that is already in 27 countries in over a year. 27 countries are promoting this product. So you can build a business from your home, but in 27 countries. And I have not seen that before, ever. And that's the reason that I selected this company. After wanting to be in network marketing for about 10 years, this is the time that I realized it's my time to do it. And it has been a blessing, a very big blessing, especially during this downtime.
Absolutely. And a couple things to note. One, massive passive income, like you just shared, right? So my T. Harv Eker, Millionaire Mind people will remember that kind of massive passive income. So to build that up, and also the idea that this is owning a business as opposed to working for someone else. And right now, with the uncertainty of what everything's going on, to go get another job, if you're out there searching for a job and putting all that energy into that, there's no certainty that that's going to necessarily last. So right now, at the very least, put 50%. I get it. You want to go get a job and you have that certainty. There's nothing wrong with that. And right now, what a huge opportunity to start creating your own legacy behind you. And one of the things that you had shared, and we all know this, all my personal development friends, and if you're into that, I don't know of any personal development icons that we know of don't have some form of network marketing process going on. Jim Rohn became Jim Rohn. We know of him because of Herbalife.
Yeah.
No one talks about this. Tony Robbins, when he made that first $1 million, was with Herbalife. That was how he bought the castle. He doesn't talk about it. Joseph McClendon still doing it. I mean, and you shared Mark Victor Hansen, all these people. They're like, hey, what do you think we're doing on, like, what is our side hustle? It's helping other people grow their businesses. We're helping create massive passive income for other people. And of course, we benefit from it, which is huge. And then the other thing, just, in regards to the opportunity here, is that if someone were to go, hey, I want to get on board, or I want to learn more, we're going to have access to like top leaders like you and David and Karen, people who are of massive influence, but also incredible experience. And bottom line is, you're just amazing people. And it's just what I found is, in life, unfortunately, as we get older and more busy, sometimes the only way to hang out with our friends is to do business with them. Right?
I agree with you.
It kind of just works that way because everyone's so busy. So it's, hey, well, let's do a project. I remember, my music is like, hey, the only way we can hang out is if let's go jam, let's write a song and record it. Like, there's a way to hang out. So I think there's so much power in this, and it's getting out of that mindset of, because there's obviously, you shared it too, you had always wanted to get into it, and maybe you could share that, because I think this is instructive. How did you get past the mindset around direct marketing and that? Because I think that's twofold. One, I think there are a lot of people who have, and I've had it too, and still it's like, it's a new business. How did you, and then how do you help others? Because I think that's the bigger problem. I think most people go, hey, I'm interested, but there are a lot of people who may not be. How can I share this without whatever that other noise going on?
Well, the biggest surprise for me is that my introduction to network marketing came from my mentors, some of the biggest influencers in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and they were doing very well financially with it. And they always saw, as my growth came up and my influence in the world came up, they kept saying to me, look for something, but look for something you believe in. Look for something that has credibility, integrity. That's very important to me in any business.
Mm.
So I have met a lot of the leaders of the biggest companies out there in network marketing, including Herbalife and Isogenics and many others. And I realized that it just didn't feel right for me. But one time I had two of my biggest influencers in the world that said to me, Fab, the sweet spot is getting in early when the company is just about beginning. Because if you get in a company that's already 12 years old or 20 years old, what are the chances that you're really going to benefit greatly? But if you get in a company that is just about to begin the way, we did, then that is a game changer if you work it properly. So that was one thing. So the opportunity there. But what really shifted it for me was that I found myself in a meeting with 27 people when this company was about to start. And there were 9 people making 7 and 8 figure earnings in network marketing. And I began to interview them while we were there. And I would ask them, just like you, hey, tell me what you were doing before network marketing. Tell me what got you excited. Why are you doing this business? And I could not believe my ears that these are people that have tremendous resources and credibility. In our team, we have so many doctors, professionals, people that are high influencers that are part of it because of the integrity of the company, because of the integrity of the leadership. But that was a big shifter for me when I realized that some of the most influential people that I respect were the ones doing it. That was a big changer. When I started meeting people that were 7 and 8 figure earners, right? The people that I didn't know, that did not have any influence. They were not famous. They were not best-selling authors. They did not have all this money and all of that. No, they were regular people working the business the way you're supposed to work it. And they were sharing how they worked it, they built it, and why they were so passionate about network marketing. So that was a number 2 big changer. The number 3 big changer, which a lot of my influencer friends told me, is the integrity of the leadership. I wanted to be a part of a company that I didn't have to second guess or question the leadership integrity. Are they going to put the ingredients the product says that it has? I know there's other companies that may not be as honest with that. I also, that companies were not going to be changing the compensation plan. That's another thing that my mentors told me. Be careful when a company starts changing the plan to make money for them more than for you. Make sure that you're with a company that always has your best interest in mind. So when I was involved with this in the beginning, I was asking a lot of questions about what the compensation plan was and how they were putting it together. And then the last thing for me, and really the game changer for me ultimately, was how effective the products were. I got a chance to test the products before I joined. And the results in my body, in my family's bodies, were so high that I was like, oh my gosh, in the past, I would recommend people to take, in fact, before this, I was taking over 40 supplements a day, 40 supplements a day. Now I take 3, but those 3, they keep me so healthy that I don't have to take anything else. One is a powder, the other one is a capsule and a cream, and the other one is a drop. That's it. Every morning, every day, I do that once a day, and my whole body is healthier. I mean, my chemistry is off the charts how healthy I am in every aspect of my health. The way that I feel, my energy, unbelievable. So those were the 4 things. But this was my biggest surprise. When I joined the company, like you, I was like, oh my God, I was always told, if you're going to build a team, build them with the most successful people in your life. Don't build it with people that are starving for money. Build it with success. So I went to my most influential friends and my doctor friends, and guess what? Hardly any resistance. And this is why most people don't understand the level of trust and influence they have. Because I was invited them, I would just tell them what led me to that decision, just like I told you. And I said, look, this is very little entry point. You're not going to miss. I'm not asking you for $100,000 investment. I'm not asking you for $1 million investment. It's $500-$600 investment. If you want to get in, now you can even get in for $200 investment, and it's all on product. It's not like you're paying in to get in. It's product that you can now use for yourself and share it with the people that you're going to build business with. So what I was surprised is that when I, being honest and genuine, invited my friends, the first question, the first surprise that I had is they weren't even asking me. They were just saying, Fab, if it's good enough for you, put me in. That's all I was getting. Almost 80% of them were like that. There were 10% that were asking a little bit more questions. Well, tell me a little bit about this. Tell me more about the product. And there was 10% that were just not interested at all. They were like, Fab, at this stage in my life, I just don't want to be a part of network marketing, man. I hope it works for you. And I respected that. Mm-hmm. So I don't have an expectation that everybody's going to want it, right? And even if only 20% of the people that you talk to and 8 people say no and 2 people say yes, that's okay. I don't like to force anything on anybody, but it's important that you share what is working for you. It's important that you share that now you're able to pay your rent, that you're able to pay your electric bill, that you're able to put food on the table when your job just went away, that you're able to support your family. How many people have parents that are elderly and you have to be the one supporting them now because they don't have any income? You know, maybe their investments went south when the stock market took a turn. There's a lot of people that have lost a lot of their investments, as you know. So that's what I feel, that network marketing can be amazing if you're honest, if you do it with credibility, professionalism, if you share it with people without the expectation of an outcome. Just share it. You know, in our team, we teach that we want to share it with at least 2 people within the first 24 hours that we join the business. And then once those 2 people signed up, then we're going to help them get 2 people. And then once those 2 people signed up, we're going to help them get 2 people. Now, who cannot build a business by encouraging and supporting 2 people in your life? 2 people that you think can use a part-time job that can get you some great income, right? And a promotion of health products that can really support the health of people right now, especially during this difficult time. Almost everybody knows that there's 2 people out there in our lives that can benefit from that. Like, how many people do we know right now that are asking, I don't know what to do for money? Yeah. Are you taking advantage and invited them? You know, so that's why I believe network marketing is just soaring right now, because it's a proven method. Granted, there's a lot of people in network marketing that have not made any money. But let me tell you, I've interviewed those too. And just like success, right? I realized that if you're not making money in network marketing, it's not because of network marketing. It's because of what you're thinking and what you're doing on a daily basis. And I have proven it. Every person that tells me, you know, Fab, I tried network marketing, it hasn't worked, I ask them questions. Well, tell me a little bit about it. What product were you promoting? Tell me your daily behaviors. And what I realized, they weren't doing anything. In their mind, they thought it was going to happen automatically. Well, no business can grow just in your mind. You got to take activity, actions. And if you simplify those actions, then it's amazing. So that's really one of the things that, for those of you that are listening, if you're looking for ways to, on a part-time basis, to increase your income. I mean, we've had people in our company do more than 20,000 their first month and more. It's just, but they worked. Yeah. They put the activity into play. But even if you make an extra $500 a month, could that be beneficial right now? An extra $1,000 a month, could that be beneficial right now? And you know what I found? Over 80% of the people that I've asked that question to say, Fab, if I can just make an extra 500 or 1,000, man, I'll be happy, right? Yeah. Because the work is not that much. So it's important to recognize that you have to work the plan and you have to be decisive. And once you make a decision, it's okay. If people are not ready, don't judge it. Don't pressure it. Don't keep calling them and annoy them. Move on to the next person. Look how many people in the world, 7 billion people right now. Just in the United States, 20 million just lost their job. 20 million, they're in your family, they're in your circle. Help those people make some income. That's all, you know, I believe could really benefit you.
Couldn't agree more. And, you know, network marketing is a legit business, which is so, you know, like, I think really people know that. And also that if someone is interested to learn more, please feel free to reach out to me, because we're going to have access to both you, Karen, David, where, you know,
so many more.
Oh, and so many more. I'm just saying, like, for people, like, these are the ones like right off the top of my head that I know, love, respect, and you guys are just such amazing humans. That alone just adds that level of integrity, right? And back to the leadership, right? So it's so important that you do focus on that as well. Like, who are the people you're going to be partnering with? Because that's what it is. It's a partnership. So with that being said,
yeah. And the thing also that I would say is, you know, we have daily support of a call or a Zoom call or something that people can get on. You don't have to do all the work. You just need to invite people that you feel are interested. So you ask them, hey, would you be interested in finding out if there's a way that you can make some extra money on a part-time basis, you know? Hey, would you be interested in some health products that are being very effective in supporting your health right now? You know, yes. Okay, great. We got a call that, you know, you don't have to explain it. You don't have to do, you know, there's a call today at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 2 p.m., whatever. I'm going to send you the link. Just go to that call. It's only 20 minutes, but they're going to be able to explain to you why I'm so excited about this and why I thought about you, because I think you will be a natural for this. And then let that call do the work, you know, or you have an app that you send a video to somebody. Hey, if I send you a quick video that shares what these products are so good, would you watch it? If they say yes, send it. If they say no, then don't send it. If you share, if you want to know more about the company and how you make money, if I share with you a quick video, would you watch it? Yeah, great, send the video. So those are the tools that really have helped a lot of people grow this company so quickly. And the reason why I believe within the next 6 months, it's not going to be 600%, it's going to be over 1,000% growth, because people are just right now, we haven't seen the most difficult time financially because the government has supported financially so many people that are unemployed. That money is running out.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to really be thinking about, what am I going to do now? Don't wait until the money run out. Do it now so you don't struggle once they tell you there's no more unemployment check or there's no more PPP money or there's no more whatever, because I don't think the government can actually extend too much more help, because we're already in the trillions of debt, and it can't get any more than that. It's just crazy to even think about that.
Yeah. Now is definitely the time to take personal responsibility and step up for yourself and your family and your legacy. Well, dude, thank you so much. I couldn't thank you enough for just our getting to know each other and all that. You guys are so amazing. How can someone also, if they want to get in touch with you, I posted in there, but is the Fab Life Academy the best way, or to go to Dr. Fab Mancini? What is your preferred support?
If they go to fablifeacademy.com, the reason that I wanted to do this for you is I charge thousands of dollars for people to have access to those resources. But during this time, I felt that it was important for me to give. Yeah. I have been giving for 6 months like I've never given before. I've been working harder than since I retired for the second time in 2012. And the reason for that is because I care. I care about you. I feel the challenges that you're facing. I'm facing it too. In that link, you're going to get an assessment that you mentioned that gives you the opportunity to really evaluate where you are and what you need to do in order to thrive during this difficult time. But I'm also going to give you access to interviews that I've had with the most influential people in the world that are thriving right now and what you can do, but many other tools, many other tools and resources that are going to help you, and also be able to help you recognize that your health has to be a priority. So if you go there, you can easily contact me there. My website is drfabmancini.com. There's also a way that you can contact me through there. But if you go to fablifeacademy.com, just go there, fill in your information. You'll get access to the resources immediately. Fill out the assessment, send it to me, and I'll give you an opinion. If you want to send it to me, I'll give you an opinion of what I feel you can do right now to thrive based on my experience of helping all these CEOs and entrepreneurs that I've helped for the last 4 years. So go there and be able to benefit from that. And if you're interested in learning more about the business of network marketing and maybe align with us, we'd love to have you with us to support you the way that we're supporting thousands of other people. Then contact Doug and contact me, and we'll be more than happy to plug you in and at least begin to show you how simple this really can be if you're allowed to give yourself permission to take responsibility for your finances. Yeah. Do not wait for others to bail you out of your finances. If you don't bail yourself out, you're going to be very disappointed and very frustrated because there is very little money left to be given out. So you have to earn it. And we're giving you a beautiful tool to be able to earn it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think your website, the Fab Life Academy, is so comprehensive. Like, I was blown away. So definitely take advantage of that. And yeah, I mean, just give a taste. Look into what we're offering. Just check it out. The worst thing that could happen is you'll get to connect even more with us and learn some other things that might spark some other thoughts for you. But yeah, so we need to take personal responsibility and build our legacy. Fab, thank you so much for this. I'm so blessed. Heidi and I love you guys. We look forward to connecting further when we're able to in person. And I love you for who you are and who you aren't. So any final words before we sign off?
Well, first of all, I'm honored that you invited me to be with you. And second of all, for those of you that are listening, understand that you're not alone. You're not alone in this. You have Doug here supporting you along the way. Take advantage of this podcast and take advantage of this Facebook Lives to be able to help you, but also reach out. If you're struggling, reach out. There's help out there. There's a lot of support and help. I mean, I've given you resources that people pay thousands of dollars for, but take advantage of them. Go in there and start benefiting and feed your mind and take a lot of activity. Feed your mind, take a lot of activity. Feed your mind, take a lot of activity. And if you do that, I know that you will thrive during this difficult time. So God bless you, Doug. I love you, man. And thank you for the opportunity.
Awesome, brother. God bless. We'll see you very soon. You rock. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging with us. And remember to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast right here. And we look forward to serving you even more. Remember, download your free guided hypnotic meditation at guidedhypnotic.com. That's guidedhypnotic.com, where you'll get your free anxiety-busting meditation. We look forward to serving you, and if you have any questions, comments, please feel free to reach out. All right, we love you for who you are and who you aren't. God bless.